So,
yeah. My question is about Aweber versus. I'm a little bit in a pickle regarding the Aweber and connecting that to my website.
Are you in a pickle with connecting it to your website, or are you in a pickle with connecting your SFM business system through the back office with your Aweber?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say, Sandra. Yep.
Because there's a difference. If you have an actual website, like say you had forenza.com.au, you could connect Aweber to your website if you had an Aweber account via what is called an app or a widget. But if you're trying to set up your boot camp videos from the back office in the startup modules and stuff, and you're trying to link that, that is something different again.
Okay.
But I do believe the feature is supposed to be pretty straightforward and simple from what I can understand of the startup modules.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to be able to actually just go into your back office, follow the module. It tells you where to go in your back office to set up your list in Aweber, like set up your account, set up your list, and then automatically link Aweber with your SFM so that then your boot camps load up into the from the SFM into Aweber, and then that will have a list to build, and you can send people to that list and they can get your
down there
boot camp.
Connect to Aweber.
Right.
That's in that's if you go into marketing autoresponding.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Gotcha. And
so you just follow the instructions there, and obviously you have to sign up for Aweber first, and then add your. But if you follow the training in the back office.
Actually, I have connected that.
Yeah.
Right.
I have connected that, but let me see.
Have you put your little code in? See how Robbie's got that SFM code there?
Yes.
That's for the campaign section. Have you done that?
Yes, actually, I've done all of that.
Right.
So
share your screen.
Oh God, I've got so many things open.
Oh, she might crash the system.
Yeah.
Open.
No, I don't want to do that because I'll confuse myself even more.
Yep. Okay, so you've done all of that. You've set all of that up. Got that set up. Yep. And you did your list building report in your can you go to that section, Robbie, where you brand your list? You went into marketing and went down to simple report brander.
Simple. No.
So you go into your marketing tab, go into simple report brander.
Right. Yep.
Because this will brand your list report that is also in your bootcamp videos.
Right.
And you'll follow the instructions in the back here and set it up.
Right.
We're on your Skype screen, Robbie.
No, Lynn just tried to call me, so I'll just send her a message.
Just send her the link to the call. Tell her we're on the webinar. Send her the link. There we go.
Cool.
We'll go back to the SFM back office now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So follow this. This is easy enough to do. A headshot. You can choose your headshot from your pictures on your computer. Use your display name. Whatever name you want to be known as on your list report. You know, you might just want your first name, or you might want your first name and your last name, or, you know, whatever. So you'll put in whatever name you want to be known of. This goes into your list report, by the way.
Sure.
And then you put your affiliate username. Well, that's
they don't see that, do they?
No, they won't see your affiliate username. No.
Okay.
That'll be just the your SFM
affiliate username.
Yeah.
And an email address. Then where it says choose, you can write just a short bio. You don't have to say much about yourself. It can just be one sentence long if you want.
Yeah. She actually joined the call last week.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back into the SFM. And once you've done all that, you'll choose your report, where that little choose your report under your picture is. And then an arrow, like a drop down menu, and you'll click the list report thing there. Click that. And then you'll put save branded report. And if you see down the bottom here, Robbie's got some save branded reports already.
Yep.
Okay, so that way when your boot camps go out and your list building report goes out, it's all set up in Aweber, because that'll automatically link to your Aweber boot camp series that you've got in Aweber from the SFM.
Yeah.
And if you want to give away this list building report in, say, an ad or a promotion that you're doing, or you want to share it with somebody via an email who asks you, you know, I'm struggling to build leads, I don't know how to build leads. See this link where it says your default report link? You can copy that. And you can share that. Yep. You can share that directly with them just as it is, or you can shorten it in tidy URL if you want. But you can you're quite welcome to share that link the way it is with somebody. Yep, and when somebody clicks on that, they'll be able to automatically download your list building report, and because you've set it up through the Save Branded report here, it'll have links back to you, your affiliate links in the SFM, so they can find out more about the SFM and that sort of stuff. But it's also a really good list building report. It helps you understand the importance and how-to of building leads or lists, as people call it.
Yeah.
So that's worth a read as well, for anyone starting out. I read my list building report. Actually, I read it before I even joined the SFM, because it was in my bootcamp videos that I got. So I read it way back then. But a lot of people seem to skip reading it. They download it, but they don't read it. Yeah. And I had it read before I even joined the SFM.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, actually I have read it, but then, no, that's good. That's great. Thanks for that information, Sandra.
That's all righty. Thank you
very much.
While you're on that topic, could you just walk through, like, say you have got a list and you want to broadcast to your list? How does that? I haven't quite worked through that yet. So,
well, you're going to Aweber.
Okay, so going to Aweber, correct? Yep.
Create a broadcast.
Yep.
And that will open up a section where you can give Robbie's screen a minute to load, because he's got the load of the meeting on him. And here it will open up in like a template here. You can go into templates. See that sign that says templates on the right hand side? You can choose a template there, or you can use a blank template. You can write a short email. You can go like, you know, hi guys, hope you're enjoying the 7-day bootcamp series. I came across this article that I found very, very informative, or I wrote this article, which I feel may help you. You can put a link to your blog or your website in there. And then once you've finished it and you've clicked save and all of that sort of stuff, it will walk you through the instructions of which list to broadcast it to. So if you've got several lists, and now I have several lists, Robbie has several lists, but you know, you'll set it up there, you'll save it, and it'll take you to the next step of broadcasting, and it'll ask you if you want to broadcast immediately or whether you want to schedule the broadcast, whether you want to repeat the broadcast once a week if it's a particular, you know. And you can choose the list that you want to broadcast to.
Yep. Okay. Great. Thanks. Okay. Cool.
That's right. It's a good way to get your blogs to these people as well who haven't signed up yet in your list, who, you know, may only be on day 3 of your of the video series or whatever. You can, you know, when you're writing a blog or you have something that's really, you know, interesting, even if it's somebody else's blog or a newspaper article or something, you know, something you may feel will benefit them as a human being, you can add it in a broadcast like this and shoot it out to your list. It's all, that's how you build rapport and relationship with your list.
Yep.
Excellent.
Sandra, it's Leanne. Just a quick hi. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Just a quick question. With that Aweber and the subject line, I can't remember what I've read. What do you put in there? Because is that shown to the subscriber, or is that just for your benefit?
No. It's what gets their attention.
Right. Okay.
It's the heading of your email, so that when it comes into the inbox, that's what they're going to see. It's the title of the.
Oh, okay.
So you want to have something in there that they. Oh, that looks interesting. I'll click on it and open it.
Yeah.
So you know how when you send just a standard email from your email box to a friend, and you might be talking about, I don't know, you might be putting together a baby shower for, you know, a friend of yours, and you know, and you're helping somebody organise it. Well, in your subject heading, if you're talking about the baby shower, obviously you'd put, you know, baby shower, and then you'd write the email.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do what Robbie just did then.
What, put the picture down the bottom?
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
You can even put share buttons down the bottom of your newsletter.
I'm going to fiddle around with that.
Yeah, play around with it, because until you click save, and, you know, even if you did accidentally click save, you can always get rid of it later. But there's nothing wrong with playing around, because unless you click save, nothing's going to save. So play around with it. Paragraphs, headlines, articles, images, videos, you know, to install your videos. You know, you got your buttons thing there. You follow me. You can put your Twitter handle in there. You can put your Facebook handle in there. All of these things right down the bottom. The share thing there. If you click on that, that'll put your share buttons down the bottom of your newsletter.
Wow.
Awesome.
Share it on Facebook, Twitter, D+, LinkedIn, and stumble upon. So if it's a generic email, like if it's a email saying hi to your list and you're sharing a blog post that you've written, you can put the share buttons in, and then they can share it. They can share that newsletter to their circles.
Yeah, see, I normally just do it as plain text without, or like my screen in Aweber doesn't look like this.
Doesn't it?
You can pick though, Rachel, under templates what you want, and if it's a drag and drop one, then you can pick the that just comes up like that, doesn't it, Robbie? Just in that format.
Yeah.
That's just basic format. But see, if Robbie clicked on templates, where it says templates in the formatting section there, if he clicked on templates, that'll open up all these templates, and he can assign, you know, he can start again. See, at the moment, he's just using plain center-aligned template, right? But he can choose any one of these templates. If you know, some WordPress themes, you can find some WordPress theme, website themes in these letter templates. So, I mean, you might be able to find your own WordPress theme as a template here, and your email will look just like your website.
Well, I'm going to check that out next time. But my ones, I send it to myself as well as I send it to me first to make sure it works before I send it to everybody else. Yep. And it just looks like a plain old email. So I might fiddle around next time. Make it look around.
Yep.
Can I just ask one more quick question on this, please? If you're writing your email and then you press save draft, and the reason I'm asking is because I've tried this and I had to log out for some particular reason, and when I went back in, I had to go right through the whole Aweber logging in processes as you would, but I couldn't find my draft. So how do you find your draft? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah. You haven't put in a subject field, Robbie, so it won't save. You're so funny sometimes, Robbie. It depends, I think, where you save the draft. Like if you're saving the draft, if you're doing a broadcast, you're broadcasting to your list and you click save draft, I think you may have to click save down the bottom as well, the green save button there. I think you may have to click that, Leanne, to save your saved draft.
Otherwise, it would have been lost.
And then when you come back into Aweber, and like if you remember that you're broadcasting, if you go into broadcasting, it should have a little section there that shows you that you have a saved draft.
That's okay.
I think you have to actually
Guess what, Sandra?
What?
I've got 6. I've got 8 subscribers.
Awesome.
I know. I can't believe it.
That's really awesome.
I
think that's fantastic.
Oh, well, it's only 8, but hey, you've got to start somewhere.
Well, yeah, and is this from your YouTube? Like, have you got your V-roll?
It's from my V-roll ad. I got them within the first week, so I thought, well, that's good. Where it goes, who knows? It's all a learning curve.
So is that 8 people who have signed up onto your list for your boot camps?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hey, well, you've got to start somewhere, Leanne, and that's a great. It's got to be really good to know that you went through that struggle to get your bloody website compliant so you could use your B-roll. And that was, we had a few fiddly things that we had to take care of there, but you managed to get through it and get it done. And then you've gotten your V-roll ad out there, and you've actually got 8 subscribers, which is real. I mean, that's fantastic.
Very happy. Kind of makes me feel like I'm actually marketing or trying to market.
Yeah, there you go. So your broadcasts are in when you come into your broadcast messages.
Yep.
Broadcast.
Right.
And there's your drafts there. So Robbie's got 3 drafts there. One, that test email was the one he just did up.
Yep.
So you can. What he would do is he'd click on edit if he wanted to continue editing that. He wouldn't schedule it. He'd click on edit there, and he'd go in and he'd start doing some more edits to finish it off. So
I see. Yep. Right. Yep.
Go to your messages. Go to broadcast, and then it'll show up your drafts.
Thank you.
So what's a V-roll, Sandra?
V-Roll is a program with a guy called Gideon. He has a platform to help you construct and do YouTube ads, video YouTube ads.
Oh,
and
right.
Stuart Ross held a hangout with him a few months back, and quite a few SFM members went on the hangout, and people like Leanne decided to purchase the package because she was interested in doing YouTube advertising, whereas I didn't actually purchase the package because YouTube advertising wasn't really at the priority at the top of my marketing game at that time. So
Yeah. Okay.
I just think, Fienza, for me, it was just that I'm interested in videos, and I just really, really liked the concept of the way you could create a video. Like this particular one that I've created is on a whiteboard, like where the hand is up and is writing, and you can pick music that goes with it. It's I didn't actually purchase it on the day. I think it was about a month after, but I'd always been very aware that I really liked the concept of what they were doing. So I just went in and on my own bat and just went and purchased it. I think it was Pro, which is like it's another $97 a month, which is fairly expensive, but the training they give you, it's really easy. It's quite easy to understand, but because it takes me a long time to process things, it took me a while to get the hang of it, but it's very, very straightforward. So,
and I mean, and it's great. I mean, if YouTube, if YouTube marketing and video marketing was at the top of my list, it's probably a concept that I would look at. However, and this is why Jay gives a lot of talks and Stuart gives a lot of talks, and there's a lot of information in our back office in the training modules. You've got to pick what what you want to do as far as marketing goes. You've got to pick what you're interested in. You've got to run with that and stick with it until you master it. Some people, Facebook advertisers, they just focus on Facebook and Facebook alone. Then there are others who are playing the Twitter game. Then there are others like me who are doing a little bit of a few different things. Like I potter around with Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and I rather like those three. And I also have a little play with Google AdWords as well through the display network, which is also, and that's mainly for my my posts that I post on G+. For engagement and stuff on G+. And that's what I like to do, because I like to have control of, constructing my ad and stuff like that. But like Leanne, I mean, the concept of video marketing is a brilliant concept if you really like that. And if I wanted to get into video marketing myself, I would look at things, I would possibly look at things like, well, however, I also have other programs that I've purchased in the past, which are downloaded on my computer, like VideoFX. So I can create my own whiteboard videos from scratch, and they can say whatever they want. And I can, I can use a hand to slide the stuff in. I can use a felt pen. So there's a pen actually writing the words of what's being spoken in the video. I can add music. I can add video clips and whatnot, and that's a program that I purchased, way back in 2013, at the end of 2013. And it's not a bad program.
Sorry, Sandra. I was just saying, with the V-Roll, I mean, I think when Stuart introduced it to the community, everyone just kind of went, wow, that's bloody amazing. It was almost
everyone.
Yeah, well, nearly everyone, and like everyone thought it was great, and those that wanted to do video marketing loved it. But for me, the only experience I've ever had with videos was in my 90-day challenge.
Yeah.
So my exposure to what's available, I mean, I'm sure that there's a million other things out there other than V-roll, really, but it has benefits of finding your target audiences and that sort of thing. You can use it
well,
for...
V-roll is a whole package, Leanne.
Yeah.
You know, it not only supplies you with the templates and that sort of stuff, it also has the training, the instruction, the training on how to put it together, and it covers, targeting the right people with your, it's a whole package.
It
like
is.
Mine is a software program where I can actually make my own videos from scratch. I mean, they have templates that I can use, but I can create my videos from scratch. Now, that's not to say it's a bad thing or V-rolls, but I'm the type of person where I like to have a little bit more control over what I'm doing. So, but as for training, well, there's not much training with the software program that I purchased. But then again, I'm somebody who's, I mean, if I was a cat, I'd be dead. I mean, I'll purchase a program, I'll purchase a piece of software, download it onto my computer, and then the next thing you know, I'm playing with it. And, I'm left, right, and center playing with it. I don't care, because I'm not scared of stuffing up. And I don't question myself. I don't say to myself, I better not play with this until I know what I'm doing, because, I might wreck it. I'm just like, oh, well, unless I click publish, no one's going to see it anyway, so I'm going to bench it out and have a bit of a play with it. And honestly, I mean, there have been times in my travels from when I first joined the SFM to now where I've actually played around with something and accidentally clicked publish, and a half-assed job has been published out on the internet and gone out into the wide world of the internet. But, it is so funny that some of those half-assed projects that were unfinished, that had no links for anything or anything, weren't selling anything, have gotten me the best engagement and made me some really good connections over my time on the internet.
I think when people see things like that, they just realise that we're all just human, and that we're not all perfect. We're just doing our, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't worry about embarrassment. And I mean, one or two of those projects that got published, I mean, I had some really cool professional, really skilled internet people, IT people, people who build websites for a living, or people who run marketing companies who had seen those half-assed projects and reached out to me privately with a message and offered me help. And they've invited me into their communities, their closed communities of close people, and I learn an awful lot from a lot of different people in community, just talking to them. If I have a question, I very rarely ask my question of the SFM members or in the SFM community, because I have so many other different niche type communities that I've been invited to that I'm a member of. And I'll go and ask those guys. Like if I want to do a local campaign in my local community here for, my product, I'll go into one of, my Brisbane groups that are business people, small business Brisbane people who have all sorts of businesses, from, decking out shops, with shop fittings and stuff, to lawn mowing people. And I'll run my question and my, my idea for a local campaign past those guys. Because they're all in business, a small business, they're like me, they're wanting to come up with new ideas. I mean, I've gone out into the city and met up with with a guy who owns a fruit sort of boost juice type cafe up in Injapilli, and sat down, and he had a big talk to me about, my aloe vera that I sell, and was wondering how he could incorporate it in a smoothie, because he sells mainly health type smoothies. That's something I'm working on at the moment with a local business person, just because I treat people the same on the internet that I would treat you in real life. You know, I'm never forgetting of the fact that people I'm talking to online, they're real people. I mean, sometimes you can get burnt. Yeah, there's a couple of fake profiles out there, and you know, you can get burnt and stuff. But you got to get past that. You know, you can't dwell on those things. You've got to really be able to move past that sort of stuff fairly quickly, and just jot it down in memory. I mean, I have a notebook with, you know, names and similar, you know, features of profiles that I've come across over time that are spammy profiles and not really real, you know. And, you know, if I come across you know, if somebody contacts me on social media somewhere with a profile, I'm looking at it and thinking, sure, I've seen this somewhere before. I'll just open my notebook and I'll just go through the pointers, you know, the bullet points in my notebook, and see if there are similar features in the about section of that particular profile that ring a bell, like an email address or, you know, a country or a city, or, you know, I'm just any of those checklist things that I've got. And, you know, if I'm not 100% sure, well, I just won't add them.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of time. A lot of people, you know, they get into their head that being on the internet can be 100% automated. Okay, fair enough. 10 years ago, you could jump on the internet and it could be 100% automated, and it was just all push button. But, you know, human beings have gotten to know the internet now, and they want more. They want that human connection because, you know, because we work longer hours now in lots of developed countries. People are working longer hours. They're away from their family for longer. You know, some people don't even have a human connection at work. You know, they're locked away in an office cubicle. And then when they come home, you know, their whole family is sitting on, you know, laptops, TVs, mobile phones, whatever. I mean, I shared a Dolmio ad just the other day on my profile about how families just don't have dinner anymore because, you know, and they show a picture of the teenage girl in her room with her iPad, and the, you know, the boy in his room with the mobile phone, and another one of the family members on a PS4, and the dad on the TV, and mum was trying to get dinner and no one was sitting at the table, no one was listening to her. And, you know, it's about a pepper grinder, and if you twist the top of the pepper grinder, it shuts everything down. It knocks out the Wi-Fi, so all devices are useless. It turns off the TVs, and it's just a funny little ad, and I'm thinking, yeah, that is so relevant to today's society.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have a lot of time with each other, and people are missing that human connection. So, you know, I think nowadays it's actually best to give a little bit of time to the internet if you can, like real quality time, you know, not just posting your own stuff, but, you know, popping by your connections, your social media connections, and saying hi. You know, I mean, quite often I don't go to Facebook a lot. Like, I'm not on Facebook for hours every day. I mean, I log in every day, but maybe for about 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, I'm hardly doing anything except going into my group saying hi to everyone, or going to my main priority groups that I get connection and engagement from. I'll say hello, post a hello picture or whatever, and then I go back to my profile and I click on friends. And, you know, my higher priority friends that I connect with regularly, mainly family, like close family members and relatives that are following me, that are connected with me on Facebook, those guys that live far away, I'll actually send them I'll actually post a personal hello to them on their actual profile. So that way those close people know that I'm thinking of them. You know, sometimes I'll just click on, you know, a cousin's name or an auntie's name, and I'll just go, hi, I'm thinking about you, hope you're okay. Or, you know, I know your birthday's coming up, are you doing anything special? You know, anything, or just a simple post. Sometimes I go to my daughter's page and I just go, thinking of you.
Yeah.
Got a question.
Simple one-liner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Neville.
Okay. Just the, as far as video editing, there's been a little bit of chat around the show. Is there? I'm trying to learn. Video editing with iView and things like that. iMovie. Is there any other sort of easier video editing things that people know about or people use?
iMovie is probably quite good. You can do a lot on iMovie that, and to post videos on YouTube, iMovie is quite good.
Yep.
When you say video editing,
video editing, like just filming a video, a video on my phone, loading it up to the computer, and then trying to edit all the mistakes out or put a bit of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to. So I'm just
probably quite good for that.
What sort of computer system are you running, Neville?
I've got a Mac. Yep, running a Mac.
You've got a Mac. Okay, so I'll
just stick with iMovies.
Yeah. Okay.
iMovies. You can do a bit of editing on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So if you were to load the video directly up to YouTube, you'd load it up privately, right? So you'd make it private.
Yes.
That way no one can see it. And then when you get onto your computer, you can go into YouTube and you can do some editing with YouTube as well. And then you can flick it straight over to public once you're finished. And it's already on YouTube. But as far as what you're using, that's probably the better one, unless you want to purchase expensive products.
No, I just wondered what people were using generally, and then I suppose the next question: has anybody come across any good training on, or is there any in the someone typing or?
I don't know, Robbie, are you typing?
No, not me.
Not me.
Oh, sorry, it was me.
Okay.
Well,
Yes, I
carry
couldn't
on.
because I can't type.
It's like Morse code.
Carry on.
I suppose just the question: is there any good iMovie or editing type videos in the back office? Or
Not specifically for iMovies.
Because I did try and I did search for some, and I found something that's reasonably relevant. But I've got a book, so I'll just go to the book.
iMovies doesn't actually have. Do they have a help section? See, I run a Windows computer. I don't run a Mac. The only Apple product I have is an iPad. And I after having the iPad for so long and using it so hardly, I would never purchase an Apple product ever again. I would not buy an iPhone, and I wouldn't buy a Mac computer because I don't like the Apple system. I don't like the control they have over people, and I don't like the fact that they make you purchase most of the stuff that you want to use. That really gets up my nose. So I would prefer to use a Windows. See, so when I'm doing editing, like editing my videos, because I use a Windows computer, I have the benefit of Windows Movie Maker, and I can do virtually anything in there.
Good, okay.
And there's a lot of help and training on that. But I would imagine with the iMovies, surely there must be a help symbol of some description somewhere that you can click on that just takes the questions and answers, forums.
Yeah, look, I'm sure there is. I've only just started this week learning how to edit, so I just thought I'd ask the question before I got too far down. So, anyway,
or even type into with iMovie, just type into YouTube here, editing with iMovie.
Yep,
that's and see if you can't find some tutorial videos in there.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's an iMovie full class there, I think I've seen up the top there before Robbie scrolled so quickly. iMovie 2013 full class, basic video editing in iMovie part 1. I mean, some of them are old, but some of them you'll find that are quite relevant.
Oh, well, I'm old too, so I'll get that one.
Yeah. Look, the funny thing about a lot of this sort of stuff is sometimes the general rule from old school doesn't change.
Yeah.
Like
the latest beginners for 2015.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, like I shared a video the other day in our community on G+, and it was from 2009, but it was Matt Cutts, and it was a 46-minute video, and he was on stage, and it was a class. It was actually an actual class that they were holding, a Google, when Matt was working for Google, and it was actually a Google class, and he was talking about WordPress and how Google loves WordPress themes and how wonderful WordPress websites are and how much WordPress actually already does for you. I shared it in our SFM community on G+, Robbie. I don't know if you... and now some of it, only a tiny little bit of it was irrelevant to today. But most of the nuggets that he was sharing on how-tos and what to do are all still relevant in today's society of running a website. And it was brilliant. It's well worth the 46 minutes of watching it. I got so much out of it, and it just confirmed to me that a lot of the things that I share with you guys, no, not in the SFM community, Robbie, the G+ community, our SFM community on G+. Yeah, in there, under discussions. And honestly, you would be surprised that there he is, Matt Cutts, straight from Google, what you need to know. And it really, really is worth the 46 minutes if you can spare it. And he shares so much, and he makes it so easy to understand why you need to do this or you need to do that, and how Google crawls your site and how it appears to Google. Very, very helpful video. And Matt Cutts was a big guru with Google for many, many years. He worked with Google for many, 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 many years.
The link's in the chat box.
Oh, you're a good boy.
Oh, nice.
I'll go remind me to watch that one, Sandra. Thank you.
Pity we can't see the chocolates.
And there's another link to doing YouTube advertising by Tom Breeze in there as well. It was a mastermind, the Downunder call we did last year. It's in the chat box as well.
There's also some training in the back office too, of Tom Breeze's. If you're elite, you'll find it under your elite curriculum.
I think it's under.
Yeah.
There's also someone under gold, wasn't there? Like, I think you had to be gold or something to get something.
Yeah, but if you're elite level, that's a good one. Tom Breeze Video Marketing Workshop. It's quite good. It's well worth the watch. Yeah, I'm not sure if they have anything available for basic members. But I think it's a more advanced one in the gold section, isn't it, Robbie?
Yeah, I think they'll go into login, DEA login. And
yeah. But honestly, you can search people like Tom Breeze on YouTube.
It's that one, Crush It with YouTube. Yeah, it's that one. That's really good. Crush It with YouTube.
Yeah.
Sandra, can I ask you, have you ever been to Pro Blogger event?
I have never personally been to a Pro Blogger event, no.
Do you know much about it, or anyone that has been?
No, I don't know too much about the Pro Blogger events. I didn't even know they had Pro Blogger events over here in Australia. I thought they were specifically all over in the United States. But most of my blogging tips I glean from the SFM training. my own form of logical deduction, and I follow specific people. Like I follow the Mad Lemmings website, and I'm involved in, like I've been invited to a couple of communities on G+, and some of those guys are pretty big bloggers. They make a lot of money in blogging. So yeah, I'm not a big one for events and stuff, okay, guys? I mean, little bit of background about me. As a child, I was never nurtured like a lot of kids. I was never sookied, nurtured, cuddled, kissed, and all of that sort of thing. I grew up without that human connection. And a lot of jobs I did after the hospitality I did, where I had to, like, I worked in hospitality for quite a long time. So I was serving tables, I was serving in bars and stuff. So I was always in the service industry with people. And I always saw the best and the worst of people because of the types of industries I was in. Then I moved into taxi driving, and I've seen even worse behaviour of people and even better behaviour of people. But I was always around people. So, and a lot of times my work days were 12 hours to 14 hours, sometimes 16 hours long. So when I came home, I didn't want that human connection. I was very antisocial. My kids used to call me the antisocial outcast from society. I used to lock myself away. I didn't want to have anything to do with anyone. Even Mum used to struggle getting a hold of me on the phone. And still today, to this day, I struggle going out to events. Like I went to Momentum Day last year, and I mean, it was great to catch up with everyone, but it was very hard on me. I wasn't as excited as everybody else because I knew I was going to be crowded around with so many people. There was just going to be so many people around me, and I was going to have to change my plan. I was going to have to get up early. And I was glad to get home. When I got home, I didn't speak to a human being for almost a day and a half. I refused to take phone calls. I didn't connect with my kids. I just wanted the human race to leave me alone and just go away. I can feel really suffocated at live events with too many people all the time, so I don't go out. If the event, however, if I can access a webinar online, the event online as a webinar or whatever, great, that's fantastic. Like if I can do what I'm doing now, that's really great because I know that I can just like switch off and walk away.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. I just it could just be because my odds obscure hours, and my hours don't seem to mix with everyone else's. So I'd much rather socialise with everyone between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning, but I can't find enough people to socialise in person at that hour of the morning, except for drunk people coming out of hotels, and I socialise enough with them in the taxi. I don't need to socialise with them now.
Well, if I can't sleep, Sandra, I'll jump on and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, same here.
I'm a bit weird that way.
You'll be at the pub, won't we, Tony?
Yeah, so
I missed that.
That's all right. I was just saying, we're having a red wine somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't go to a lot of live events. So.
Fair enough.
How did you go at the last Momentum Day, Sandra? Did you find that a bit weird?
It was really, really hard, Leanne. It was really hard. Yeah.
You didn't show it at all. You didn't.
I'm good at. Well, I had to see when I was a kid. I had to learn how to basically be an actor. you know, how to hide what I was feeling on the inside and portraying what everybody else needed on the outside. You know, I had to do that as a kid because of the type of childhood I had. So, and then in taxi, like as a female taxi driver driving a cab from the hours of 4 p.m. in the afternoon till 5 a.m. in the morning or 6 a.m. in the morning, you know, working that night shift, you know, at 1 o'clock in the morning, when you get somebody in the cab and you get a slightly weird feeling from them, you know, and you've got to drive them 30 k's out of town into the bush, the last thing you want them to know is that you're feeling afraid or uncomfortable.
True.
So, you know, I've learned, I'm very adaptive. I'm like a chameleon. I mean, there was one year on the Gold Coast when I was driving a cab and a guy hopped into my cab, and immediately I just, you know, all my warning signals went off, and I just felt really, really wrong about, but it was too late. He was already in the cab and I was already driving, and he wasn't quite sure where he wanted to go, and we were heading out of town, and he's like, I'll just give you directions. And I thought, look, I'm in some serious trouble here. This guy means me some serious harm. And so I tried to strike a conversation. You know, he wanted to have a cigarette, and I said, yeah, sure, I've got a cigarette. That's fine, even though you weren't supposed to spark up in cabs. I let him spark up, and I got him to light me one as well. And, you know, and I chatted with him. I just had a feeling that he had been on the wrong side of the law, and he was, you know, something going on there. We drove around for about an hour. I ended up stopping the taximeter because I knew he wasn't going to have enough money to pay for the cab. So I stopped the meter. I'd already hit the warning button in the taxi, so they were silently tracking me as I was going, because I wanted to, you know, at least the kids to have my dead body if something terrible was going to happen. And he got me to pull over on the side of the road, and in this road on the Gold Coast where no one lived, and it was just all bushland and trees and stuff. And I thought, freak, here we go. So I pulled over, but I didn't put the car out of drive. I kept it in drive. And I talked to him that whole time about his mum, how I was a mum, kids, stuff like that, trying to make that connection. I was using my mum's name, my children's name, our pets' names, and trying to get his parents' name, his mum's name out of him and stuff like that. And he's sitting there, and he opened his door, and he looked at me, and he was looking at me for a short time, and I was getting ready for something to happen. And then this calmness just came over him, and he put one foot out the door, and he said, look, all I've got is $20. I know the cab fare is more than $20. Will you take $20? I said, yeah, sure, fine. I said, you know, he said, I can't afford to, you know, go any further. He said, I just got out of prison today, and I was sent to prison for 10 years for robbery, murder and assault. And my intention when I hopped in your cab was I was gonna rob you. And I didn't care how I robbed you, I was gonna rob you. He said, but I couldn't do it, you're too nice.
Wow.
I thought,
wow, gosh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I took his $20 and he's hopping out of the cab. I said, are you going to be right here, you know, in the middle of nowhere? There's no one around. You know, you sure you don't want me to give you a ride to your mum's place? I'm sure she'd love to see you. And he's like, no, it's okay. I'll find my own way. And I left. I don't know what he did after that. He could have got up to mischief. But all I could think when I was driving away, and I was shaking like a leaf on the inside, I'll tell you. And all I could think was, thank freaking hell I can talk underwater.
Really?
That would surprise me.
That's all I could think was, thank God I have the gift of the gab and I never shut up, because I think if I had just sat there in silence, the guy wouldn't have looked at me as a human being. He wouldn't have made that personal connection. And I would probably be dead on the side of a road somewhere by now.
Yeah. Wow.
It's good when you've got that gift of being able to read, like really read the situation and have that sense. Although you kind of made that connection with him because you sensed that it wasn't right, but to be able to do that and keep calm and just I think that's quite a good story, Sandra. That's great.
Yeah, it wasn't the only story I have from my cab days. You know, if you drive a taxi, you could write a book. Trust me, guys.
You should write a book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day in the life of a taxi driver.
People used to tell me that when I was driving a taxi. I did write stories when I was driving a taxi, but they were for a soft porn magazine in America. So, you know, all the erotica type stories that I used to sell over there and get paid in American dollars. So.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
But I had so much material, you see, because I always had passengers in my cab. So, you know, I had real life stories to draw on to actually, you know, write my fictitious stories, which was really good.
Interesting. Good.
Yeah.
Head off.
Yeah, no worries.
Don't have any more.
Well, we've been on an hour now, so we can probably talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless anyone's got anything pressing they want to talk about.
Not for me. I'm just fiddling around with Aweber at the moment. So I just bumble my way through things. It takes me a month of Sundays to work things out, but I don't stress out anymore about doing anything. I just think, oh, well, it's just something that you've got to learn. So ask if you need help, but try and be, I think I've learned now to become more of a problem solver, which is what I want to do, because that's part of, I guess, putting your entrepreneurial hat on and being really resourceful. I mean, if I get desperately stuck, then I'll ask someone, but I really do try and figure it out myself. And as you said before, Sandra, there's so many tutorials on YouTube. You just have to type in and 5 or 6 will come up. And for me, I see all these things that I think, oh, that's what I'm looking for, but it takes me about 2 or 3 before I find the one that I like, because I don't like the person that's talking. I don't like the way they're presenting it. Their voice doesn't gel with me, and I just don't get what they're saying. So you end up finding exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, you do. And I mean, that's the great thing about having a resource at your fingertips like YouTube. I mean, I'm the same as you, Leanne. I could go through, 4 or 5 of the top tutorials before I actually just get that one where I play it and the voice connects with me and I like the person and I like the way they're presenting and I'm like, yep, this is the one.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the wonderful thing about it. I mean, and I mean, it's the same with me. I mean, I can offer to help people and I try and help people, but I'm not always able to help them because, they may not like just, the sound of my voice may grate on them, or, I may present in a confusing way, or, for some reason or other, they just don't connect with me. And I think, Jay Kubisak talks about that a lot in his mindset training, the workshops that he does. I think he tries to get us all to understand that we're not all going to learn from the same person because it's just not going to work for us. It's sort of like, remember when your kids were little and you'd try and teach them something and, you'd be trying to repeat teaching them over and over and over again. And then, like, maybe tying their school shoelaces before, getting them ready for school. And they just could not get it. And then they'd go to school and they'd make a connection with a teacher at school. And they'd come home, they'd go, look at this, Mum, I can tie my shoelace. And you'd be like,
yeah.
And you'd sort of feel a bit crushed. You should be like, oh, so my kid just learns better off somebody else than me. So yeah, but it's just a matter of finding our way. We all take a while to find our way, but you know, we might let Robbie get to bed because Robbie spent a good portion of his weekend doing a lot of physical labour, you know, house renovations and stuff. So he's probably pretty exhausted by now. Probably got blisters on his blisters.
No worries. We'll catch you
Thanks,
next time.
Robbie.
Yeah, awesome.